Hi guys, welcome to Clockwork Dandy Noodles. Back to my favourite slice of life of the season, of course. Hello and welcome guys. If you're following me for the first time, hello to all the new people who are slowly filtering into the channel. It's good to have you here at the Noodle Bowl. There is a video going your way in 2 weeks' time you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you get that. I am doing my end of season review. I can't believe it's come round so quickly. It feels like almost yesterday that I was doing my wrap up for last season. So what am I going to be watching next season? It is a stacked season and we've just had Demon Slayer moved to next season 2. So if you weren't aware of that, Demon Slayer season 2 is coming next season. There is a lot coming our way. I needed to really pick my choices because there's so much I want to watch, there's so much I want to talk about, but I can't break it all down. So I am really going to have to think about what it is I bring to you guys. And in that video, I tell you what my top 3 anime of the season are, including the Hidden Gem Award, which is the new award that I have invented. There is also a Discord channel too, so if you want a notification sent to your phone without having to interact too much or be too sociable, there is my Discord channel where it's quiet, but again, I am always floating around if you want to ask any questions, and it's a good place to get notified of any delays on the channel. So let's talk about another amazing episode, episode 8. Episode 8 to me felt like it was a bit of a side story, but it does filter into the main story that we've got. This is the week of crabs. I don't mind crabs, but I don't really want to pick them up. So if I see them at the beach, I'll just be like, okay, you stay there, I stay over here. I can understand the phobia between crabs and really freaking out, which we see this episode as well. But this week we have a travelling aquarium, another fun way of showing us how to utilise the aquarium, how the aquarium also gives back to the community around it. So a good thing about these buildings as well is they are very community driven. They're there for the public to learn, but they also are there to aid in future generations, getting them involved and just showing them the beauty of the aquarium and the bigger world and the natural world surrounding you. It's a nice little break from the ticking time bomb that is the aquarium closing down, but as well, that also filters through because it's impossible to escape that ticking time bomb. This week, the idea of having no crabs is sadly mistaken as a crab has decided to sneak into the travelling aquarium with us, which is going to cause some shenanigans this week. But our main plot, we've got 2 main plots, I think. One of our main plots was the umai who was looking for somebody who is a child he was looking for at the aquarium. We know as well that it was his idea. He proposed the travelling aquarium. He wanted the travelling aquarium to happen, and he also wanted a certain fish bringing along with him. Now Fukus ends up dropping the crab and actually dealing with the crab thing all by herself for a little bit of time. So she ends up dealing with the second half of the plot. There are 2 plots. There is the crab plot, which is going on the travelling aquarium, and we've got this plot with umai. Both of these plots end up crossing over a bit later on, but it is nice to see we have 2 little plots, main themes for this episode. Now, umai and Irie. Now, Irie didn't seem to want to see him straight away, which obviously gave us the hint that something had happened, and I initially thought it was bigger than it turned out to be. I was like, maybe they are related, because we don't actually know what the relation is. I did think it would be like a cousin or something, or there would be a family relation going on. We don't get that information, but I still thought by how big it seemed was that maybe he was trying to apologise or he hadn't been there. It turns out to be a lot less dramatical than I was imagining, but it was a awkward little scene and it created tension, a bit of tension for this week's episode. Now Fukus ends up dealing with the crab dilemma all by herself, and it's a nice little moment just to see her really panicking as well, really trying her best, trying to be thoughtful and trying to handle the situation on her own, which is nice. As Fukus sadly gets to deal with the ticking time bomb, which keeps coming back in the face to remind her that things are coming to an end. We know that the aquarium is closing. A few of us have been discussing how the granddad, I don't think he's going to be swayed. Either way, guys, I think the aquarium will close. But next week, it seems like we have a new hurdle, or I call it a hurdle. It seems to be more of tension builder, a tension device. We'll talk about it later at the end, of course. Fukus having to face the fact that the aquarium is going to close. Now, I really like the composition of this sequence of her behind bars, looking out at the sea that lays beyond. If you are familiar to the channel and have watched a few of my videos, I talk about this kind of composition a lot. It means that there is a hurdle standing in the way of the viewer. Fukus is trapped. She is trapped from what lies beyond. The sea lies beyond. That's what she dreams of. The aquarium is essentially the sea. And of course, we have the hurdle in the way. We have something blocking the way to the sea. Something is getting in the way of her dream. Her dream lays beyond the horizon. Something is in the way. That is the aquarium closing down, and she feels trapped because she can't seem to do anything. No matter what she does, the aquarium always seems to just be closing down regardless of what she does. Now let's talk about the second half of our plot, which is Irie. Now, Irie turns out to have been a frequent visitor of the aquarium, and she was always promised that she would see Gararufa, our Dr. Fish, as is a name I couldn't remember, but that's the name I know them by, is Dr. Fish. She was promised, and she ends up being hospitalised. The main purpose of this sequence and this little plot is giving us some backstory with Umai. We see the promise that they both made, and we see him finally fulfilling that promise, but it also acts as another way of showing us the lives that the aquarium has touched. A lot of these episodes are trying to show you the bigger ripples, the aquarium having effects further than just being a building and further beyond. And this is a promise. It was a promise to go and see them at the aquarium, and this is now showing us another life that is affected by the aquarium in a good way. However, we get the crab on the boobs, which, to be fair, would freak me out as well because these things hurt. Even the pinch really does hurt. This is showing us an extreme phobia as well. So as much as it seems quite funny, there are people out there who really don't like crabs, don't like animals, and they do freak out like this. So I felt really, really sad for her because the one thing she didn't want to see was on top of her. It was on her boobs. But the Irie plot at this point becomes linked to the crab plot as she ends up being able to retrieve the crab and overcoming this hate or dislike she had gained for the sea. So whether she had gained this from being hospitalised and she was angry, she couldn't no longer see them in their natural environment and just didn't think this was good enough, she ends up overcoming it by saving our nurse. But it allows us to have two plots roll into one, which is very, very clever. It is mainly just a side plot for umai, but it also slowly feeds into our bigger plot because it is showing us the people that rely on the aquarium. It is showing us many stories that have come from the aquarium, it being there. Irie ends up promising that she will go back and revisit, but again, we see Umai being quite sad because he feels like the aquarium is not going to be there for much longer. It's closing down. So we are seeing all of the lives that are going to be saddened by the loss of the aquarium. We also see Karen, who now this week tells us that she wanted to be an aquarium attendant, but however, money became an issue. She ended up getting a stable job and she wasn't able to do the thing that really would have been fun to her, what she would have really wanted to do. Showing us once more, everything comes back to the aquarium. Everything is linked. All these little stories are rippling into our bigger plot that the aquarium is going to close. All of these people are going to be saddened by this. The end sequence, must be painful. We gained as well a bit of information from this week is there's going to be a new aquarium in town. So this new aquarium was going to take away all of the tourists, which is what they even said. If Gamma Gamma survives, the tourists won't be there. They're still going to go to this new aquarium, this new hotspot. So we see a lady who's coming in as a trainer, whether she's trying to prep this team and offer them jobs at her aquarium, the new aquarium, whether they're trying to headhunt. These kind of jobs, the aquarium knowledge, like I said a few weeks ago, they are hard to come by. It makes you pretty much easy to be headhunted if you know this kind of information. So it makes sense for the new aquarium or a existing aquarium trying to leech the staff across and offer them jobs from a closing down aquarium. But again, the granddad really starting to irritate me because he's clearly brought her in for this purpose. And can you just imagine how much of a kick in the teeth and how sour poor Cuckoo feels? And her face as well, this episode, it didn't look happy. It's very, very painful, and I really hope we get a happy ending, but I don't think we're gonna. However, there is something that I remembered, and I haven't been telling you guys this, but you guys probably already know. How many episodes do you think this anime has? Are you thinking it's going to end in 4 episodes' time with the 12? Well, I hate to break it to you, or I am very happy to announce 24 episodes. There are 24 episodes, guys. That's a lot of episode time for something that is about to end. I feel like this story isn't going to be done in just 3 episodes' time at the 12 point. When I roll into the new season, Aquatope will still be continuing. This is something that I remembered reading a while ago. I forgot to tell you guys that as well, in case you were not aware. There are 24 episodes. In my eyes, a season is 12 episodes generally. Back in the day, it used to be 24 episodes. Either this is broken into 2 seasons or this is just one really long, old-fashioned first season. or the story is going to be done in 24 episodes. I think them having this amount of episodes as well, it allows for good pacing. I did feel like we were starting to gear up to a closure though, because we do have technically all summer, and summer's only really weeks long. It does allow them to take their time, and also it will allow them to build for a surprise revival if they do decide not to have it closed down. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I can't wait to see where the story goes. It's quite a long one. You guys will also have to let me know if you want me to continue breaking Aquatope down next season. There is a lot going on next season, so whether you would prefer to see something new or to continue with Aquatope, let me know in the comments below. Have a good day, guys, and make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Bye bye.